right, it's another day, it's another week, it's Wednesday or Thursday.
It'll probably be Thursday.
This is Geoff.
And Garry.
And we're going to bring you a fantastic new episode, just like we do every other week.
Let's not oversell it.
There's no overselling. We're awesome.
Well, yeah, but we don't want to, put it too high. We can say we're gonna bring you an episode. Was that too low?
We're going to bring you the awesomest shit you've ever heard.
That is a bold statement.
It is.
I feel
bold,
pressure now.
But we're bold, and our listeners are bold.
I'm italicized.
Let's get to this. We're going to talk about books. We're going to talk about toys. Let's call them action figures. Action figures.
I'm actually fine with
Games.
toys. I'm fine with toys. It's the dolls. The dolls I don't like.
Yeah, I don't like dolls.
I've known
either.
people that call them dolls. I'm like, no.
They're not dolls.
They're not dolls.
They're not. Dolls are for girls. Not that action figures aren't for girls, but dolls are specifically for girls.
I'm gonna still disagree with that.
You think so?
G.I. Joes. I would count G.I. Joes as more in the doll side of the equation when it comes to it.
You mean the old classic?
The old classic
G.I. Joes?
thumbnail on the inside so they could trademark it. But the things that we're gonna it's action figures. We'll go with action.
Everything is for everybody.
Yes,
that's what it is. Everything's for everybody. And then we're gonna just talk about some goings-ons that happened this week.
If you're 17 and up, by the way.
And yeah,
there will be spoilers. I've had some people say I don't know if there are gonna be spoilers in these things, but pretty much on the safe side. If we're talking about something on this show, if
you
we're
can
reviewing,
guarantee.
Yeah,
there will be spoilers,
even from years ago. There are going to be,
right.
If we're talking about a book or a movie or a TV show or something, you can pretty much guarantee there are going to be spoilers in here. So this is kind of like a blanket statement moving forward.
It's true.
So
speaking of spoilers, I know I mentioned this a little earlier, not on this podcast, but earlier today. Under the Dome premiered this week, Stephen King's new TV show.
I didn't get a chance to watch it because CBS hates anyone that's not in the U.S.
True, but
what's the first word in www? What's the first word?
Yeah.
Is it world?
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
If they're gonna do it, just go full bore. Like when I click on the link, just give me the finger.
He's talking about watching a show online, by the way.
Yeah.
On CBS's
which they allow
home
you.
site.
It's the same as Hulu and MTV is the worst. Sorry, you're not available in your geographic region. You know what? That just encourages me to download it.
Yeah. So if you watched or have not watched episode 1 of Under the Dome, here's the big spoiler. There's a dome.
Fucking thanks.
That's what happened.
Great.
There's a dome.
Next you're going to tell me they're under it.
Actually,
come on.
Inside it.
So technically still under it.
Yeah, whatever.
One
thing I could have done without, this is, I don't know, I think it's a spoiler. The cow split in half. I didn't need to see that. Sorry, CBS.
So kind of we're hearkening back to The Cell. Where they split the cow, the horse into like 9 pieces?
No, not like that. This was the dome, like, I don't know, it's like someone dropped the dome and it landed on a cow and split him in half.
Awesome.
As well as everything else. But,
awesome.
I could have done without that. That was the only thing I didn't really like. But I like the cast. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, if you're going to watch a show, watch Under the Dome. Great new sci-fi show. This summer
really
only.
Good ratings. Like, I think it was the highest rated show premiering in the summer since like 92.
Yeah. So
it's kind of impressive.
It's good. It's a good show.
Track record of Stephen King on TV. A little hit or miss. But,
it is hit or miss. But I enjoyed it.
Cool.
So. Anyways, we're going to start off with books.
Comic review day. Woo!
I had a lot of books this week, but I decided to read
every week.
Captain America #8 and
the continuing saga of Steve Rogers
of Ultron, book 10AI.
Also known as Age of Ultron Part 11 because they couldn't contain it.
That's right.
So big.
That's right.
So big, girl.
So here's a quick review of Age of Ultron 10AI. It's just a Hank Pym origin issue. That's it.
What?
That's all it is. So you get to see him as a little boy. You get to see him growing up.
Well, why is the Flash on the cover?
I believe that's Nova. No, I don't know who that is. No,
probably Hank Pym.
It's Giant Man.
Yeah.
But wearing an Ultron.
Supposed to be him busting out from behind the shadow of Ultron.
So that's it. It's a Hank Pym origin issue. He's feeling sorry for himself, but it's a brand new day, and he's gonna do better.
Does it play off any of the stuff that was set up in Part 10 of Age of Ultron, where he's like, he had that big epiphany about he knows what he had to do, or is that hey, we're gonna do that in the actual AI issue?
Probably in the AI issue.
That's awesome. So it's $3.99 of a story that everyone...
It's an origin issue. That's all it is.
God, I'm glad
he reflects back on his life. He did okay. Not as good as he wanted. He's now he's like, oh, I'm gonna do better. The end. So that was it. That's Age of Ultron 10 AI for you. Second book I read, Captain America number 8. The continuing saga of Steve Rogers in Dimension Z.
This is basically Captain America's version of Grounded, isn't it? Where he's just walking, wandering.
Maybe, yeah, sort of. So basically, for those who have been reading, issue 1, he got booted into Dimension Z, fought Zola, escaped.
That was hyped for. It was cool.
Oh, yeah. He's on the run. Kidnaps the little boy, who's Zola's son, renames him Ian. His real name is...
Kidnapping is a...
Whatever, saves
negative
him. His real name is Leopold, by the way.
Oh, God, really?
Leopold Zola. So...
Okay, Leopold by itself is kind of a weak-ass thing. You put Zola on the end, all of a sudden it's kind of cool.
It's regal.
Yeah.
Hello. So anyways,
Leopold Zola.
From issues 2 through 7, all that took place was Steve Rogers wandering here through there, looking for food, trying to survive, getting in fights, blah, 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 blah. Not super terrible, but not super exciting.
Not what you were hoping for from a Cap story.
Especially for... this is issue 8, and they haven't really accomplished anything.
Could this have been a 6-issue arc?
This could have been a 4-issue arc. It's still going for, from what I've read, another 2 or 3 issues. So.
And this is from Remender.
Rick Remender, yes.
He's a great writer. I mean, I've been reading the book, but it's not his best stuff. I think he gets Cap, and once he's out of this little bubble, I think it'll be a better story.
So, in this issue at least, some stuff takes place. At the end of 7, they were sort of captured, and Leopold goes back to Zola, and Zola's like, you're my son, blah, 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 I love you, down with tyranny, down with America, and whatever, and all this stuff. Anyway, so...
is that down as in bring it down, or be down with as in props to?
No. America sucks, according to Zola.
Okay. So
anyways, this issue, Steve's like fighting again, of course. Then he's fighting Ian / Leopold. Then Leopold like slams a shield through his spine, so I don't know how he's gonna recover from that one. But then he's like, ooh, I hate you, Cap. You abducted me, Zola's my father, whatever. It's alright. There's actually a spoiler on the cover, which you may or may not guess by it. Now,
I could probably figure that out.
Yeah, I think so. Anyways, it's on the last page of the issue. I won't really spoil it for this time, but
what's the art like? I know you've had issues with Romita. I've noticed he's done by Romita on covers instead of Romita Jr.
No, it's still Junior.
No, but the top cover there where it's got Remender and Romita. Yeah, no, you're not. You're Romita Jr.
That's right.
So I know both you and I have had issues with his art in the past. How is it? Is it still? Has it gotten worse, or has it stayed the same?
Well, see, the thing, it's been a little better this series, in fact, it's been a little better. I think in thanks to his inker and colorist.
Okay.
I think they're helping him out a bit. Otherwise, I'm sure it would have been his usual loose-penciled...
I'm done, here we go.
The greatest stuff.
Yeah.
But, like World War Hulk, that was terrible. Terrible pencils. Worst John Romita Jr. pencils I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Some of them, anyways.
It so affected that series.
But his Cap series, bit tighter, more cohesive, better.
Remender's known for a slow burn, so I'm not exactly surprised that we're at 8 issues and still kicking around Dimension Z.
This one was an extremely slow burn. I'm glad it's finally going somewhere. It's making me... I'm a little more interested now in reading the book than I was for the past 6 issues. Hopefully it just gets better from here.
Okay.
So that's Captain America number 8, sort of in a nutshell.
That was a lot of quality books. I think you picked one high and one low for this week. So
yeah.
What would you? So definitely a pickup for Captain America then.
Captain America, yeah. This week's is a pickup actually, nice. And AI. Unless you're a diehard Avengers fan, much like myself, or a diehard Hank Pym fan, this book is for you. And if you're not, you can probably pass on it.
If you had gotten the previous 10 issues of Age of Ultron, is it
integral? You don't need it.
You can pass.
It's just a totally redundant issue, basically. You don't need it.
I'm happy with my decision.
So what did you read?
Well, I read the book I've been looking forward to for quite some time now. Two of my favorite DC characters by two of my favorite creators. I'm talking about Batman Superman #1 by Greg Pak and Jay Lee.
Good teams. Jay
Lee. Fantastic. I loved the team up books like Batman Superman. When Jeff Loeb and Ed McGuinness started it in the old 52, was a great book. Lots of cool story concepts that came out of that. A lot of stuff actually had repercussions later on in the DC universe until the reboot. So I'm very happy to see it back. As basically with Jay Lee doing the art, looks fantastic. He doesn't do the entire book. There's about half a dozen pages or so at the end of the book where Ben Oliver does the art. Still really good, but I would like to have seen Jay Lee do the entire book. I know why they had a different artist do it. It's to create a distinctive look between the original time setting for the book and where it shifts into later on. There is a little teleport time jump, time stream thing going on. For those who don't know, this version of Batman Superman tells the first meeting of Batman and Superman. And the cool thing is they actually meet as Clark and Bruce beforehand. One of them knows who the other one is. The other one is kind of taken surprised by that. So it's kind of cool to see their first meeting not be in costume. Like, literally, their first chronological meeting is just the two guys, Clark and Bruce, which it's kind of nice. It's not them in the middle of a dust-up and they turn around like, who's this guy? But they do get to their dust-up. There's the classic superhero, oh, he's a bad guy because he looks like this. Like, it's the classic type of tale where they have their confrontation, they fight, and then, later on down the line they're going to make up and be friends because they are. Mm-hmm. But this one kind of plays a little bit sideways. They don't. One of them, by the end of the book, is used to the friendship as we know it. The other isn't. So even though eventually they're going to pan out and be friends, they've still got half that dynamic is the antagonistic part. Half of them is still not trusting the person because of this weird little time jump. Yeah. There's a possession, body snatching, body swapping angle. Adding Selena Kyle in, I thought was an interesting twist.
I saw that.
I didn't expect her to show up in the book, but a nice little thing having a supporting Batman character in a different environment.
Yeah.
Quick little recap in the beginning about kind of a quick glance overview. It's a 2-pager just about their origins. I noticed the similarities now in their origins, especially when it comes to their parents. How the New 52 Batman and Superman, both their parents, were basically killed. If you've been reading the action stuff from Grant Morrison, you know that Ma and Pa Kent, they were killed.
I did not know that.
Okay, yeah. They weren't... Jonathan Kent didn't have a heart attack, didn't get sucked up by a tornado. They were actually killed. It was an enemy's plan to mess with Superman. And they had a car accident and they were killed. Same as Bruce's parents.
Interesting.
So you literally have them being the same, like the opposite side of the same coin.
Yeah.
They have very similar origins with their parents, and what they learned from them, and their deaths both had a galvanizing effect on them. So it's a nice little quick parallel and overview, and just as Geoff said, the book is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
The design that Jay Lee did on Batman's cape, like the cool wing structure.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
It's phenomenal. And everything this guy does and draws is great.
And I like Ben Oliver's art, too.
Yeah, like I said, Ben Oliver could probably do an issue of this book by himself, and it would still be fantastic.
Yeah.
Just the design, the layouts that Jay Lee does is great. Superman, thankfully, he's put him in his blue shirt. I was always a fan of the blue t-shirt as opposed to the white or the red one. Mm-hmm. A little too on the nose, red, white, and blue shirts that Grant Morrison introduced. But I'm glad he's wearing the blue one. We've got the point where Superman isn't as beefed and powerful as he is currently because he's kind of, tweaked down a little, so he can't fly. And Bruce actually makes a cool little comment about that, and then throws an oven on him. So that's kind of funny.
That's funny.
But overall, I've been looking forward to this book. I knew it was going to be a gorgeous book to look at. The art is phenomenal. It's easily one of the best looking books that DC puts out, and it's only the first issue.
Yeah, that's impressive.
So as far as I know, Greg Pak and Jay Lee are on this book for a while.
Hopefully
a while.
Yeah.
I know Jay Lee, with the amount of work he does on each issue, I know he's not the most consistent scheduled
but
artist.
when he's got a good inker, he
true.
stays
and
more on schedule.
I'm not quite sure who the inker is on this, but whoever he is, it adds like another dimension to this book. It's fantastic. Like I said, with how the book looks visually, the cool story that Greg Pak, who's one of my favorite writers, is setting up here. We've got some time travel stuff. We've got some possession things. We've got some little nods and winks and in-jokes to the future DC universe. It's a fantastic book. I've been looking forward to it for a while. It's definitely going to find a home on my pull list. And it's a fantastic book.
A must-buy.
Definitely a must-buy. If you're a Superman and or Batman fan or a fan of either of the creators involved, definitely get this one, put it on your bag, and make it a regular pull. I got a feeling it's going to be worth it.
Cool.
Very, very happy.
Looks awesome.
Yeah. The cover is great. There's multiple covers. There's a blank cover. I don't know why they do a blank cover with Jay
covers.
Lee. Unless Jay Lee's at a convention this year, I wouldn't even consider it. But
yeah.
All the covers are really awesome. Even there's a couple different versions from a couple different artists, and they're all great.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So, this week's trade review. I read Saga Volume 2.
Oh no, I haven't read Saga!
By Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. Fantastic book. It is phenomenal. It is probably the best book on the stands. Hard to say. I'm kind of toss up between Fatale and Saga for me. Mm-hmm. I like it more than any Marvel book I read. I like it more than any DC book that's probably published, more than the two I buy, at least.
Out of the two DC books, it's better than those two.
That's right. It's better than Superman, Batman. I gotta give it props. It's so good. Anyways, it's about, just a quick recap then of Volume 1 and 2. It's about, basically, it's a little Game of Thrones with a little, Romeo and Juliet and a little this and a little that. Everything all thrown together in one. It's so many genres all mixed up, but it's all under a science fiction banner. It's, so you got Alana, who's the main female protagonist, and Marco, who's the male protagonist. They're enemies from different sides, but they meet, and they fall in love, and they're having a baby.
Aw, baby.
Much to the anger of both sides of the war that's going on. Neither one wants a little crossbred baby out there in the universe, because no one wants unity, no one wants peace. They just
no one's fighting for that.
They just want to keep fighting, basically, and whatever. And they want to. I mean, obviously, one or the other wants to win, but doesn't seem like it's ever going to happen.
What's the crux behind the war?
I don't recall at this moment, actually.
That's
but the war has been going on forever.
Okay.
Like a long
Almost
time.
become status quo. They're just used
it's
to
like a status quo thing by this point in the book, anyways. So, they're on the run, and Book 2, Saga Volume 2, is basically just a big origin arc on how they met. And, I mean, there's still stuff in the present, obviously. I mean, they're on the run. They're trying to get away from everyone and just live their lives in peace and raise their child and all this. But, it's an origin arc. It shows how they met. Actually, Alana was Marco's jailer at the time. And, that's how they met. She was reading a funny little romance novel, which was kind of funny in the book. And then, she was reading it to him while he's doing whatever slave labor, basically, on the chain gang and all that stuff. And
back on the chain.
I don't know. During the course of this time, they fell in love, and she helped him escape, and then they were on the run, and that's how it goes. So
that'd be cool to see that kind of develop from that type of relationship into the one that they have now.
Like it's really great. There is a lot of cool characters. The art is phenomenal.
I've heard nothing but good things about Fiona's art.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and the fact that she makes a lot of the aliens actually seem alien instead of just painted humans
or a tentacle somewhere.
Yeah. It's
look, his mouth is bigger.
Yeah, it's a friggin' great book.
Nice.
You cannot go wrong with that book, and I guess he's committed to keep the price down on the book for the length of its duration. So if you buy it in single issues, it'll only cost you $3 a pop. If you buy it in trades, I believe the first one was $9.99, and from then on it'll be $14.99, I want to say. Very affordable.
Issue count per trade?
I think it's six per trade. It's not bad, actually.
Nice deal.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you cannot go wrong. Brian K. Vaughan wrote a lot of great stuff. Why the Last Man, Doctor Strange: The Oath. Woo! Your favorite miniseries.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can't go wrong with Brian K. Vaughan. That almost rhymed. Whoa. That's pretty awesome.
Oh, we should tweet that to him.
I know, eh?
That'd be great. You can't go wrong with Brian K. Vaughan. Huh?
Yeah. It's pretty close.
Yeah, I like it. I'm happy with it.
So anyways, you can read a more in-depth, full review at my blog, which we'll tell you about at the end of the show. So, so you're going to tell us now about some fancy games you've been playing. Oh, maybe later. You're going to tell us about an action figure you've been buying.
Well, not that I've been buying, one that I bought. We'll say that.
All right.
My actual process
you
of
have
buying...
just purchased an action figure. Please relate
the process
to the
of purchasing
audience
has come to an end.
What that figure is.
I am a bit of an action figure fiend, an aficionado, I guess you could say. Perhaps we'll do some video tours of our domiciles at one point and show off
at some point
our massive collections. I purchased... I gotta watch the ums. Damn it. I bought the new NECA figure from Aliens, Corporal Dwayne Hicks. Been looking forward to this figure for a while. Anything by NECA is quality to begin with, so as soon as I see they're doing any type of licensed figure from a movie I enjoy, I'm probably gonna pick it up. There's 3 figures in this set. Corporal Hicks, Private Hudson. Is it Private Hudson?
I don't recall.
It was Private. Stole that shit, Hudson. Yeah, I think it was Private. And a Xenomorph from the movie. Different sculpt on the Xenomorph than NECA had done.
Now, for those that don't know, what movie?
Didn't I not say it? Oh, crap, I didn't. It's Aliens.
Aliens.
Possibly one of the greatest sci-fi movies ever made.
Alright.
It holds up great. Fantastic
film. Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
You can watch it over and over.
Over and over. NECA's done a few Alien figures over the years, but this one is sculpted directly based upon the cool warrior-looking alien style from Aliens. But Hicks and Hudson are the standout figures. You've got possibly the best sculpt of Michael Biehn ever in this figure. I think McFarlane did a Hicks figure a few years, maybe like 10 years ago, but it was really hard to find, and it really wasn't that good. And being a McFarlane figure, very, very static pose. You couldn't really change them around. Yeah. This guy, on the other hand, nice set of articulation. It's still in the box, so I haven't actually cracked it open, and I'll do a full review up on my blog.
So he has multiple points of articulation.
Multiple points. You can see he's got a bunch of elbow articulation, hand, wrist, shoulder. Actually, they've packaged him backwards. His wrist, his elbows kind of look weird, so hopefully it's not an error in my figure. But we'll check it out and crack it open.
Does he have weapons?
He has a pair of weapons. He has his trusty MA N14A, I think it is. M41A pulse rifle, the greatest movie gun ever.
Really?
It is. It's the best movie gun ever. Best sound effect. It's got all the cool attachments you can tape to it. He also has his trusty shotgun that he keeps for close encounters, and his little pouch to store his shotgun in. He also has his little welding torch on his awesome sculpted buckle piece that goes over his armor.
It's pretty detailed.
Yeah, the sculpt is fantastic. It's by NECA Toys, so the sculpt is fantastic. Got all the buckles and straps, very, very 90s, even though it was made in the 80s, so big influence for later on artists, clearly. But his camo and decal is fantastic. It looks worn and used. It's not brand spanking new, so it conveys that military feel that they've been doing this for a while, and this is the gear they go into battle with. The detail is just as great on the Hudson figure. He's got kind of a weird, grimacing, fearful sculpt on his face, which I'm fine with. And it looks a lot better on the figure than it does on the promo shots. There is a few more figures coming out later on. There's a couple 2-packs coming out, or I think it's a 2-pack, or I think it's maybe just a 2-pack of Hicks and Hudson with their helmets on.
Oh yeah.
You get an alien with it. And it's an exploding xenomorph, so it's as if they've been taking the gunfire, so they're all exploding all over the place. So those will probably pick up as well. I might get the Hudson one only in that pack, because I like the head sculpt on the 2-pack Hudson with the helmet better than they do his grimacing face. But I wasn't going to pass up the Dwayne Hicks, being as he's one of my favorite characters in that film. But having another version of him with the helmet on is going to be cool as well. But overall, just from looking in the package, fantastic detail, amazing sculpt on the figure. The paint apps, just pristine. For a figure that's at a price point of $18, it's fantastic. At a 6-inch scale, fantastic work that NECA keeps cranking out.
How many Garys for that figure?
I'm going to give this 5 out of 5. 5
out of 5.
Just from looking at it right here, fantastic figure. Phenomenal. There's a bunch of Predator figures they've done. I was almost going to pick up the Jungle Camouflage Dutch, where he's at a final battle against the Predator, where he's all covered in the mud, and he's got a custom-built bow and arrow. That might be next week. But as of now, I am super psyched about this figure. So I'm going to, when I get home, I'm going to crack her open and do a full review up on the blog, and display this proudly on one of my many shelves.
Cool. So... now we're getting on to the funky games segment.
We're doing the games. Okay.
And what games will you be telling us about?
Well, I'm going to do an Xbox Live kind of preview. I haven't purchased the game yet, but I really want to. And a quick little review of how far I am in a new DS game.
All right.
My first up is the Xbox Live version of Dungeons & Dragons something Mysteria. I can't remember exactly what it's called.
That's a good review. I don't even remember what it's called.
I had the name in my mind.
That's cool. Like
I'm not looking...
Knights of Mysteria, Mists of Mysteria.
I'll think about it. I'm not looking it up right now as I slowly stretch out this section. Hopefully my phone will load quick enough for me to find it.
See, here in Studio P, we are only professionals.
Exactly.
We know what we're talking about. And that's what you can expect from us on a weekly basis.
Sometimes
professionalism.
We have specials. Chronicles of Mystara.
All right.
I just remembered it. My phone didn't just load the title. I just remembered it.
Cool.
It's the old... it's an Xbox Live, and it's probably on PSN Network, as well as the Wii U, whatever they use. But it's based upon the old Dungeons & Dragons stand-up arcade machine from years and years ago. So
is that the one where they took 2 titles and they released it under the one title? That one?
I believe it is. I believe it's kind of...
And it's a side-scroller.
Yeah, side-scroller, 2D side-scroller beat-em-up.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I used to play the old version.
I loved it in the arcade. I used to go there on my lunch breaks and after school and play. It was so cool. Actually, we're IDing students and checking their schedules to see if they were supposed to be over at the mall playing at that time, so it was kind of funny.
That's funny.
It was a stand-up, single player cabinet. I can't remember.
That was 2-player, because they had 4 characters you could choose from.
Yeah, the cabinet that I remember playing on, I think maybe only had 2 at the most. But this has online and local 4-player co-op.
That's cool.
So the greatest thing could be getting 3 of your friends on Xbox Live or PSN and just voice chatting the hell out of this and playing it online. You've got all your standard D&D classes. You got fighters, mages, clerics,
the dwarf,
the
axes.
You've got the magic system in there, scrolling wheels for selecting your spells.
Yeah.
You actually get story choices, plot points you have to make decisions on, or you have the one guy in the group that goes off on his own. Item pickups, health regen items. So you've got a good setup for a lot of friendly...
It's a pretty classic side-scroller game.
Yeah. And just the ability to play 4-player co-op online with your friends, just yelling at each other because of the asshole who picked up the health item who didn't need it, or the cleric that picked up the health item.
Exactly, just like any other side-scroller game.
Yeah, but the aesthetic behind it, the art style, the fact it's in the D&D world, fantastic. I think it's about 1,200 points, so God knows what that translates to. I can't do Microsoft math.
I saw it online the other day. I don't think it's that expensive. So
it might be like $12-15.
Yeah.
So I'm rallying my group of friends, and I want to go check this out.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. My next up for Game Talk is Animal Crossing New Leaf for the Nintendo DS.
Animal Crossing?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's basically, my friend describes it as playing house. But it's far more fun than it sounds. You, for those who don't know, the Animal Crossing series has been going on, I think, since the GameCube days.
Yep.
You basically get to take over the responsibilities of a town. You have to maintain kind of an economic structure in the town, the prosperity of its citizens.
And your own house. You get to furnish your own house, design and build your own house. You get loans from the bank to bet additions. You can, on the 3DS, I have the 3DS. It's not a 3D game, but it's a DS game. Mm-hmm. But with the stylus and the touchscreen, it's far easier than the older games for designing your own pieces of art. You can wear them on your clothes, you can hang them on your wall. Currently, my house has a nice AstroTurf field with a star wall pattern, and I have a Green Lantern and a Superman poster that I made myself hang on the walls, and a pinball machine. That's cool.
There's tons and tons of items. There's hidden secret Nintendo items from throughout the time, so you can get like a little bullet pipe and a little, I think there's a bullet bill and maybe a piranha plant. I got gifted by my girlfriend. She got the hero boots, which is a Legend of Zelda item, and actually plays a Legend of Zelda song when you attach them. Oh, that's cool. It's part of a set, so there's costumes in the game. Yeah. And it's not the type of game where you sit down and play for 3 or 4 hours. You get in, you get done what you need to get done, and then you can grind away and get a crap ton of money if you want. But it's a game, you do it in chunks. You play for a little, get what you wanted to get done, and then you can put it down. Does time still pass in real time? It's real time in the game. Right. And if you start screwing around with your clock on your DS to speed things up, they will catch you. Really? What do you mean they will catch you? The game will be like, no, you don't do this. They don't do it. Or if you screw up and you try and not save. Because you can do it on previous versions. Yeah, this one is like, no, we're having none of it. There's the stock market in the game is turnips. And if you screw around with the clock, they all rot immediately. See, in previous versions, you gotta go catch X amount of fish and dig up X amount of fruits and all that kind of stuff, apples and whatever, turnips and all that crap. Same thing, because I know certain people that played for hours and hours and hours because they have to dig this, do this, fish that. There are things, people want things from you, so you can collect them. It increases how happy your townsfolk are. Yeah, it's far more fun than it sounds. If you sit down with it for 10 minutes, you're gonna be thinking to yourself, okay, I gotta come back tomorrow to buy this from the shop, or my guy needs me to catch this type of fish, I gotta go find that. You can shake trees and bees will fall out and sting you. Yeah. You can shatter rocks and find gems and gold. Oh, you can donate fossils to the museum and build up skeletons in the Museum of Dinosaurs. Huh. You can have your friends list of people if you exchange your friend code, because it's a Nintendo system, so there has to be friend codes. Yeah. You can go visit their towns. You can have up to 3 of your friends visit your town. Now, if you have pleasant friends, they can come in, visit, bring you gifts, help you do things. If you have trolling friends, they will come into your town and steal all your peaches. That's funny. And leave you buried garbage, and leave signs on your town bulletin board insulting you. So there's a lot of fun to be had in this game. That's cool. Is it only available on the Wii U? DS. It's a DS game. DS. I don't believe there's a Wii U version out or coming out, but it works so good on the portable system. It's a game where it's got distance play. You can play it for a long time, but in chunks at a time. Like, play for an hour and a half here. If you want to just design the hell out of anything, you can make your own clothes. You can make your own like previous versions. It's such a fun game. It shouldn't be as fun as it is, and it's more fun than I'm able to describe. It's a full price game even on a download, which is my own issue with digital distribution. I paid $35 for ones and zeros. I don't have a box. I don't have a manual. It should not cost me retail price to download a game. This is the first full game that I downloaded onto my DS, and I think I'm sold on a full download now. Yeah. It's easier. I don't have to switch cartridges out. I can just open up my menu and I'm going to play this game now, and go. So if you have a Nintendo DS, or if you upgrade it to a 3DS or 3DS XL, because it looks great on the XL version, download or pick up Animal Crossing, get your friends involved, get the game, and it's a fun game. You're not blowing things up. You're not chainsawing people in half. It's a fun video game that goes back to...
And it's all ages.
It's all ages. And the cool thing is there are people in this that are jerks. They are sarcastic. They have real personalities.
Yeah.
And the greatest thing...
Not everyone in the town is a happy person.
No. The greatest thing I've heard of so far is there's a guy who will show up in your town on occasion and sell you items.
Yeah.
The only thing is, they're knockoffs.
Oh, really?
So there is a troll item salesman in the game.
That is awesome.
This would be like the item vendor in Resident Evil 4.
This sounds way better in previous versions.
This would be like akin to the ammo vendor, the ammo guy in Resident Evil 4 selling you blanks. That is how ridiculous of troll level that is, and it's fantastic.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Definitely
but once you know who this guy is, you know him on sight,
I think not everything he sells is
so it's hit or miss.
Yeah.
Hit or
so he
miss.
might have wheel items, and there's clothing items you can get, like top hats, Centurion hats, and different outfits and clothes you can buy, and it's far more fun than I'm making it sound. And it's such a good game.
It sounds fun.
Yeah.
It sounds better.
So if you have a DS, 3DS, whatever, I highly recommend checking this out in whatever format you want. Digital download through the Nintendo eShop or go to your
Physical
local retailer.
buy.
Yeah. It's a great game, and I'm having so much fun with it. I actually have to plan and schedule things in my real life around appointments I made in the game. Because people were like, hey, come see me after 12 o'clock. I'm like, oh, I'm going to the gym, so I got to do that, come back. I'll meet you at 3:30. And then it's 3 o'clock. I'm at the gym. I'm like, oh crap! I gotta get home. I gotta go meet Bones for our appointment.
That's crazy.
So, and I don't know if this is deliberate. I named my town Asgard just because I needed a cool town name.
Yeah.
The first new citizen that moved in after I showed up, the character's name was Frigga, and I'm thinking, okay, is this designed by the developer? If they have like these cool town names, they'll have people show up that are mythical related, so I'm hoping I get an Odin moving in. You can also design your own flag for your town, as well as the town song that'll start creeping in when you get into town. So you go into a shop, they'll start playing your little theme song that you came up with. So there's a lot to do in this game, and it's just a fun game. So I definitely suggest checking it out.
Yeah, that sounds great.
That's kind of what I'm playing right now since my PS3 finally died on me. And I don't want to go buy a new one, so I can't play The Last of Us, so I'm watching two best friends play. I'm watching their playthrough of it.
It's not quite the same, though.
It isn't. I get their awesome, humorous soundtrack commentary for it, and I get to see the plot as well. So it's kind of okay for now until I get a PS4 and I can start streaming it through Gaikai's service.
Cool.
But a little sad that my PS3 finally died. Had it since day one, but
yeah.
I'm not willing to go spend $300 on a new one and then $400 in 5 months to buy a PS4.
All right, cool. So
definitely check out those two games.
That's good. I don't know. I think I know someone who might.
Excellent.
It won't be me.
Aww.
So.
If this person has their friend code available, send it to me. I can always use more friends on my town.
Yeah.
Don't steal my peaches.
All right, so this week, Richard Matheson died. Did you hear about that?
I heard about that.
Author of I Am Legend, Hell House, or more commonly referred to as The Legend of Hell House, Stir of Echoes.
You know Stir of Echoes?
Yep. I'm not sure if it has anything to do with the movie. Could be just the same title, but I haven't seen the movie.
You haven't seen Stir of Echoes?
I don't think so.
It's a great movie.
Who's in that one
Kevin
again?
Bacon's in that.
Oh, I have seen that.
Okay.
I have seen that.
Has one of those freaky nail clawing scenes where like the girl's getting dragged along the floor and she's like digging her nails in and it snaps her nail off.
Yes.
Cringe every time.
Alright. So anyways, he's passed...
Alright, cut me off. I'm not talking about
whatever.
that. Fuck you.
So he's passed away. It was pretty sad. But I mean, he's left behind a pretty good legacy. Lots of good books.
Which people
and
probably
some
won't read,
crappy
which is a
movies. Hello, Will Smith. Crappy movie.
Yeah, that was not good. It was not a good film.
Talking of I Am Legend, by the way, his version his version. If you want to see a good version, go see the Vincent Price version.
Wasn't that the Omega Man, or was that actually I Am Legend?
No, that was...
Charlton Heston's was the Omega Man.
Yes, Charlton Heston was the Omega Man. Vincent Price was... What did they call it? I want to say possibly The Last Man on Earth.
Ah, right. Yeah, I think that was...
Pretty sure that was the title.
Yeah.
Anyways, far better movie.
Yeah.
And it's Vincent Price. You can't get any better than Vincent Price.
That's sad that he's not here.
Yes.
I like Vincent Price.
So, R.I.P. Richard Matheson. Love your books.
My favorite news story coming out of the last few days kind of harkens back to my book review. Greg Pak is now the ongoing writer on Action Comics.
I was kind of happy to hear that.
Woo!
They,
So we've got a great writer on what should be a great book. Was it Diggle?
Yeah, Diggle was only on for one issue.
And then script by, and then filler writer. Yeah. I was very disappointed. I like Andy Diggle's work. I was looking forward to it.
He's great.
And then he bailed, or was whatever happened with that. I don't know. I can't remember if I read it or not.
Yeah.
But Greg Pak doing Superman in 2 books now. One solo, one team up with Batman.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm in.
So there's a good team on Action, a good team on Superman Batman. There's the new Charles Soule penned Superman Wonder Woman book, still not released, but coming out.
That's gonna be weird having a double team up
That
book.
might be alright.
Yeah.
Hard to say.
You've got Snyder and Capallo on Batman. You've got the same team of guys doing Wonder Woman, Brian Azzarello, and I can't remember the
I
artist.
thought we were just talking about Superman, man. Come on.
No, I'm saying DC is getting top guys on their top books.
They're finally getting their ducks in a row.
Yeah.
How many years? 2 years after the new 52.
Which is weird, because you would have thought it would have taken them a long time to straighten out the B and C tier characters. The A-listers should have been from the get-go. But they're finally kind of
stepping
lining it up. Yeah.
Which is cool.
I'm happy. I'm still kind of on the fence about Detective Comics, but I think for now we'll hold in there, I think.
Yeah. So another big story this week, which I was kind of happy to hear. Well, whatever. It doesn't really make a difference to me, but I'm still going to buy the stuff. But Boom Studios, who used to publish Mark Waid's books, Irredeemable, and... Wow, I've forgotten the other one already. Whatever, it started with an I.
I have no horse in this race. I have no idea.
Alright, so anyways, they published Planet of the Apes. They published, they're publishing a new RoboCop series from Frank Miller.
What?
Yeah, well, I think it's based on one of his scripts again from way back.
Oh, okay.
Anyways,
so it's not actually new material from Frank Miller.
It's not brand new material, no.
Okay.
They're doing Steed and Mrs. Peel. They do Adventure Time. They do a lot of books. Peanuts, Garfield, IDW does Popeye. Okay. Sorry. Not Popeye. But they do a lot of books. A lot of good books. Anyways, they have purchased Archaea, who also publishes good books. They publish Mouse Guard. They publish Artesia. They publish Jim Henson's A Tale of Sand. Lots of stuff. The purchase is good in a way because now it's expanded their graphic novel library like literally 100-fold. Because Archaea, basically, they do a couple series. And they do some one-shots and whatever. But they do a lot of graphic novels. A lot of hardcovers, a lot of softcovers. Boom. Not a lot of single issue or stuff like that. They do more like series and miniseries and whatever. So them acquiring Archaea,
kind of the best of both there.
Yeah, pretty cool for them. They've just expanded their library like massive. Now Archaea will still be an imprint under them.
Okay.
But they're still Boom Studios now.
Nice, so it's not going to disappear completely.
No.
Okay.
And
so it seems like a good deal across the board for both studios.
It's really good. So it's hard to say, because in the preview magazine you have your premier publishers. This might make Boom a premier publisher now, because their library is so massive.
What do they count as the premiers? Is it like Marvel, DC?
It's Marvel, DC, Dark Horse, Image, IDW right now.
I thought Dynamite would be in there.
They are not in there. They're probably close to being in there. but not quite. They're not at that tier yet, I guess.
Hmm.
It's all about sales and number
Pre-orders
of titles
and
all that kind of stuff, all factored in. So pretty cool news to hear about that. At least if you're a fan of independent books and stuff like that. I love the Planet of the Apes books.
It's kind of good to hear of two studios, I guess, kind of merging and doing a benefit for both, as opposed to one closing and the one snapping up their IPs.
Exactly.
Or both
Nothing's
going out
closing.
of business.
Nothing's happening. It's just one's absorbing the other, and it's basically business as usual.
That's good.
Everything's still coming out when it's supposed to come out. Well, except for a couple late titles here and there, but whatever.
That's good to hear. Positive news. Positive business news.
It's
not negatives. That's good.
So, another thing, the announcement of a third Secret Marvel movie. So we got 3 Secret Marvel movies. What do you think they'll be?
I'm hoping one is at least a Doctor Strange movie.
Me too.
Because they've had interviews with Feige, and he's like, yeah, I think we could possibly do that. He's always been kind of a big campaigner for Doctor Strange.
Isn't it Kevin Feige?
I thought it was Feige.
I don't know. I think it's...
Anyway.
Whatever.
I know it's a weird pronunciation of it. I'm hoping it's a Doctor Strange film, because I think with how they're kind of working in the weirder stuff into the cinematic universe, we've got aliens, we've got, especially with Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor. Magic would work in that world. With Scarlet Witch being in Avengers 2, hopefully they're I'm thinking, because they can't mention she's a mutant, they're going to play up her magic side a bit more.
You think one might be a Hawkeye Black Widow film?
I doubt it.
Doubt it? Or do you think they'll be... Those ones will be announced instead of secretive?
I don't know. I don't think they're going to bother with those two.
You don't think so?
I think at the best, they can have mini movies at the end of DVD releases, if anything. I don't think those characters will support standalone movies.
You don't think so?
No. My personal choice for the other one, because we already know Ant-Man is announced as the first Phase 3 film.
Yeah. My
personal hope for these 3 films that they've announced with release dates, one is Doctor Strange, I'm hoping one is Black Panther, and the other one...
I'm hoping for Inhumans.
I don't think it'll be Inhumans
because they're doing Guardians of the Galaxy, so it's not too far a step. True. Or maybe Nova. It's not too big a step from there to there.
My thinking is, I'm hoping it's Doctor Strange and Black Panther, and then the other one will be a threequel to one of the ones we have, but more than likely, I think one of them will be Black Panther or Doctor Strange, and the other will be a third Thor and a third Cap.
Those are givens, though. That they don't have to keep them a secret. Those are like givens. You know there'll be a third.
Well, they did the same thing with the Winter Soldier and Dark World. They teased the release date, didn't tell you which ones, and then they showed it off at one of the cons or something.
True.
So my hope is that it's Strange, Panther, and then a threequel to something, or a mystery one I can't think of right now. But my reality mind is saying it's either or, and then threequels. Because we haven't said anything about Iron Man 4 yet, because Robert Downey Jr.'s contract is only for Avengers 2 and 3.
Yes.
Which I think they'll either off him in 3 or recast him to start 4.
Yeah, hard to say. Pepper Potts taking over.
I wouldn't mind seeing her as Rescue for a little while.
I would not like seeing her.
I liked Rescue.
She's okay, but no. I'm really hoping, even though I love Doctor Strange...
Don't go against me on this.
Really hoping for Black Panther instead. Loved Black Panther ever since I was small.
T'Challa's a good guy.
Really cool costume. Very
cape or no cape?
Cape.
Yeah. There are people that don't like the cape.
It could be removable. That's the thing.
There are people that don't care for the caped version of Panther.
I like it when he wears it at like functions.
Yeah.
But when he's fighting and stuff, take it off, whatever. That's fine. But and non-gold claws. No gold claws.
I love the gold claws.
Gold claws are cool, but I don't want the gold claws. But
maybe Suri will be the Black Panther.
He's got he's got an awesome origin. Love the origin. He comes from a very cool country.
They've got the great dichotomy between the tribal nature
everything
of Wakanda,
there is
but the
just
high tech
awesome.
side that it's actually high tech, but with tribal traditions.
And it's a perfect way. Now I can't remember if they've done it yet, but a perfect way to introduce vibranium into the Marvel universe.
Oh, they've got vibranium. Cap Shield they mentioned vibranium.
Did they mention it? Okay,
that'd be a great way to have Wakanda come in. Like his shield gets broken or something, and they need to go find more.
Yeah, it would be pretty sweet.
They paid a passing reference to Wakanda in Iron Man 2 when it was that big world map.
Yeah, that's true.
So
but
we know Wakanda exists in the Marvel Universe.
In Iron Man 3, they teased Man-Thing. I would love to see that movie.
What?
A good movie.
When did that show up?
Characters from Man-Thing were in Iron Man 3. What's her name? I think it was Abby. Was it Abby Arcane? No, that's Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
I can't remember. But look it up. You'll see.
Brand,
we'll post a link.
Brand chick?
No. I don't know. We'll post a link in the description.
Well, you're going to have to find research on this because I got nothing.
Yeah. Well, anyways, it was in there. So I'm hoping Man-Thing. That would be awesome since they've teased it now. That would be sweet. Not the sci-fi crappy movie. A new good movie.
Man-Thing falls in the same problem line as Hulk when it comes to a standalone movie. He's all CG. You can't have him on screen without big CG version.
It doesn't have to be CG. It could be mocap.
Well, yeah, mocap CG. Yeah. And Man-Thing doesn't have an alter ego for him to turn back into.
True.
He's Man-Thing all the time, so that movie automatically has a higher budget.
Yeah. But, I don't know.
Which is why a standalone Hulk movie is always tough.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah. But that would be awesome. I've also heard teased Submariner. I would love Submariner.
Namor. They'll call him Namor. They won't call him Submariner.
I know. They'll call him Namor. I would love to see that movie too.
So good.
And I want to see him trying to take over mankind or some shit.
He would be a cool villain for Avengers 3 or something.
Then someone comes stops him, and then he's like, "Hey, you want to join the Avengers?" And cool.
Can you imagine a fight between Thor and Namor on screen?
It'd be awesome.
Oh my god.
It'd be so awesome. And he has to have the little wings on his feet. Must have.
Those will go away.
No, must have. Must have.
Those will go. They'll be on his boots. I did read this as I left.
He's not gonna wear boots. He swims.
He'll have boots on.
No way, man.
He'll have his boots on.
No boots.
I did read this as I was leaving the house this morning. A little bit of quick hit pop news. Armie Hammer was spotted on set of Winter Soldier. So there's rumors flying that he may be playing Ant-Man or has been cast as Ant-Man already.
Oh, yeah.
Millions of reasons why he could be on set. So,
that's pretty cool.
I don't know. I'm not really psyched about Lone Ranger, but we'll see.
Yeah.
If he is cast as Hank Pym, or whatever version, I'm assuming they're going to go the Hank Pym version.
It's probably Hank Pym, yeah.
Or I know the original script had
because if Joss Whedon has any say, it'll be Hank Pym.
I think the original script that Edgar Wright was teasing around had all three of them.
Yeah.
Like Scott Lang, Eric O'Grady, and Hank Pym.
Okay.
So,
that's
I don't know. If he plays Hank, I'll be okay with it.
Yeah.
I'll be fine.
So, that's not bad. Yeah. That'd be pretty cool.
So, kind of a good week's worth of news. Kind of interesting things. Kind of good stuff coming out.
Yeah, so...
We got Comic-Con season coming up soon, which we are not attending, because...
More than likely not. Yes.
Is there a... No, that's not...
we have no money.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
No.
But if someone wants to fund us to go, we will blog all the way there, and podcast all the way there, and podcast all the way up.
And we'll buy you something.
Yeah, we will...
Buy you whatever the hell you want.
Buy you something. With the funds you're giving us.
We will stock whatever starlet is there that you would like us to get an autograph from.
True. I'm pretty good at that now.
We will, past experience, which we'll get into later.
Later date. Yeah.
So we'll be eagerly watching the Comic-Con news. There will be Comic-Con exclusives that I will be purchasing online because I can't go.
True.
Because there's some nice con exclusives that I usually buy every year.
Yeah.
Not all of the ones I'd want, but some of the ones I can afford.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
That's the way it usually works. So yeah, you can read us if you don't hear this or hear us. Usually.
Well, you can do both.
It's true. You can read us at our blogs. You can read me at MindMelds at mindmeldshome.tumblr.com, or you can read Garry at
Shelf Life of Wagnarok on the Tumblrs there. You can check me out on Twitter at the Wagnarok.
And you can check us out on Facebook at the Pendulum Podcast on Facebook.
You can find links there to our podcast episodes up on the YouTube.
And just other assorted cool little things we post.
Things that pique our minds and our curiosities.
Pictures and trailers and whatever.
I did not watch that trailer that you posted for the awful movie.
The Puma Man?
Yeah, no.
Watch the Puma Man.
I will bypass that. Thanks. That's so
That movie is actually in the IMDb bottom 100.
Oh man, we
That
should
makes
watch
it.
those.
That makes it a must-watch.
We should watch all 100 of those and do commentaries on them. That'd be so good.
That would be a task. That would be
What would be the best? Is being the first of the bottom 100?
I don't know.
Or the 100th of the bottom 100? If you're the bottom 100, does that mean you're the best of the worst? Or the worst of the worst?
It's probably the worst of the worst. I don't know. It's just a guess.
I gotta look that up.
But really, they're all terrible.
Yeah.
But watch the Puma Man. You want to see a classic film? Puma Man.
I'm putting this in the description of the YouTube video, aren't I? Puma Man. That'll get the hits. That'll get the search results.
Everyone wants to see Puma Man.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
Anyways, check out the Facebook page for more cool trailers like the Puma Man. You won't be disappointed.
It doesn't happen all the time, so there's a lot of really good stuff out there on our site. So
yeah, that's true.
If you want, we'd appreciate it. Check it out.
We have lots of good stuff. So next week, more books, more game review by Garry, more little rumors and news bits and whatnot.
News of the week, maybe a toy,
maybe another toy. We don't know.
Depends.
Hard to say. We'll see what happens. And I guess that's it for today.
Yeah.
So for the Pendulum, this is Geoff
and Garry,
and we'll see you next week.
Enjoy the summer.